And we're back after a longer intermission than expected. The boomers are back. Champagne Crypto, the voice of the blockchain here. Satoshi's biggest cousin, cryptography's finest. This is our second live stream of the day, our general self-improvement chat. Today we're talking about building strength and independence out here. Self-reliance, freedom, how to become a better boomer. We'll be discussing about that and have a general open discussions. I know the boomers like to ask questions and talk about things ancillary to crypto, and here we are. Shout out to Kenny Force, double the dose indeed. Shout out to Moneybags X69. What up to you? We missed you on that other chat, Moneybags, this morning. I'm not sure if everybody's getting their post notifications. I had someone just message me now that they didn't get their post notifications, and that's okay. It's expected. You know, when you go a little too hard on the networks, sometimes they shadow ban you and they don't transmit your good word to the rest of the populace, but it's all good. Shout out to Derek McLean. Moneybags didn't get his post notification. It's all good. If you guys are tuning in to this live stream, make sure you're touching the buttons, the likes, the subscribe, the post notification bell, the ding ding. Derek didn't get his notification either. It's understandable. No problem out there, guys. I'm spreading the message out here and letting the boomers know that every Friday we do a second live stream. And in these live streams, it's a little bit more of an open format, open discussions, things that are ancillary to crypto. But I like to keep it on the general path of self-improvement, positivity, how to become a better boomer. Today, we're specifically talking about strength and independence, and we'll also take some open discussion questions as well. Shout out to Derek, Moneybags, Kenny Force, and the rest of the boomers that are tuning into this live broadcast. Make sure you're touching the buttons right now. We're checking out Larry Wheels here on the thumb. If you guys haven't tuned into young Larry, what a great story and a motivating story. This gentleman, he's only 23 years old, and he's hitting PRs, personal records on lifting like no other. You may want to check him out on YouTube or Instagram. This gentleman is a power lifter, and then he segued into bodybuilding, so it's a power builder. And most recently, he went over to Iceland to train with the world's strongest man, Thor Bjornsson. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that Bjornsson or Bjornsson or Thor, basically. You may have seen him on Game of Thrones or whatnot. He's the world's strongest man as of late, and he's training with them out there in Iceland, picking up stones or whatnot. It's got to be one of the more entertaining series that I've checked out there on YouTube. Very motivating, watching the young gunner build strength, and now I believe that he's going to compete on a strongman competition, so that's cool. Shout out to Jojo Wave out there. He says, yo, no fap gang. Indeed, we've talked about that as well. Shout out to all my no fappers out there. We don't see the point with the degeneracy out there with fapping. Save the energy for something else, for the kaboom here, on the creativity, on the building health and wealth, and you know, like I said, save that energy. We found a return on our investments by not fapping. So shout out to Jojo. If you guys have some positive experiences regarding that, drop them here in the population of the chat box. Thank you for reminding us there, Jojo. So I was letting the boomers know that I switched up the training program. I went over to the Mad Cow after I was doing the Strong Lifts 5x5, and it's something I've been promoting, I guess, you know, or speaking well of. And I'm not saying I'm promoting, because that kind of insinuates that I'm getting paid for it, which I'm not. And the site's absolutely free. There's nothing to buy. There's no program or anything to buy. You could just check it out right there online. There's nothing to sign up to. But once you follow that program, which is designed around the compound lift, the squat, the bench, the deadlifts, add some overhead presses and some barbell rows, it's designed to make you a stronger boomer. And I think that it's relevant to this discussion because building strength, not only physically, but mentally, is something that I find important. So I switched over to the Mad Cow. You could check out the Mad Cow if you are an intermediate lifter. And I know I've covered this before, but it's feeling great. Came back from the gym today, hitting more PRs and feeling like an overall general strong boomer. I had a couple people approach me in the gym today that I see there regularly, and they're like, oh, you're getting stronger, getting bigger. And I'm like, you know, I'm eating more. I'll be honest with you. I was doing intermittent fasting and keto for a while. I hit kind of a plateau. and I decided to start eating more, following loosely the vertical diet, Stan Efferding's vertical diet. You may want to Google that. Just basically a whole food diet, which does include carbs as opposed to the keto diet that strips out the carbs. And let me be honest, I like the keto diet and I think it was great. I just, you know, I'm not going to stick to it forever. And that's what it is. So, you know, check out Mad Cow and tell me what you think. Derek is asking, Champ, did you see the video of the kid with Trump hat and the Native American man with the drum? Absolutely. I think everybody's seen that video. And, you know, I didn't check out the entire hour-long footage to catch the context. But my understanding is that, of course, the mainstream media is trying to paint the young man like if he's the bad guy and he's the aggressor, which, you know, my understanding is that they're miscategorizing what's going on. Derek says, I seen it. What you think? And, you know, what I think is that, you know, I really don't care. I'm going to be honest with you guys. You know, the media, they're profiting off, you know, why should we even be talking about underage people and negative things? It's like, it's just a kid, you know, it's just a kid. He was just smiling. Exactly. He's just a kid, you know, even if he was wrong, let's say that, you know, he was wrong and he was the aggressor. I mean, like, listen, it's just a kid, and somebody get his parents on the line. Okay. Where's his parents at? That's all I need to know. Yeah, they're being hard on the kid. He really didn't do anything. No, I don't think so. But listen, they're doing everything they possibly can to paint anybody that's a Trump supporter or anybody that votes red as the villain. And, you know, that's not fair and balanced media, in my opinion. And just should be more evidence as to why you shouldn't even be watching that. I've also reminded the boomers, you know, part of building strength and independence is about drawing boundaries of what you're going to pay attention to and what you're going to allow inside to your consciousness and what you're going to focus your attention to. Because indeed, attention, faith, is one of the, if not the most important currencies out there. So don't pay it your attention, because indeed you're paying your attention. So you're actually, it's a cost. It's a cost of time, and not only you know, your time, but also your, arguably your karma and your spirit. So why are you even paying attention to that? You know? Why are you even paying attention to that? You know, we could focus our energies onto something else. And that's why, you know, shout out to JoJo for reminding us about this no fap. It's one of the other ways to practice putting your attention to something else. Why focus on degenerate acts, and why watch you know, pornography and see another man doing something else with another woman? That's kind of weird, guys. You know, you should be focusing that energy into spending your own time in the physical world with someone that you care about, or on a project that you care about. Definitely, what are you directing your attention to, and how are you setting boundaries? Because again, you know, these things, I'm even at the gym and the TVs are on, so these things are being blasted into our faces out in the public sphere. And part about being strong is literally metaphorically, so I would say metaphorically, setting a wall in your mind. So, you know, I know you guys were talking about build a wall, build a wall. I think that, you know, the metaphor here is also, what are you building your wall in your mind from that you're not paying attention to? Okay. You know, there's been for a long time institutions and people saying how important it is to have an open mind, but no one's ever talked about how dangerous it is to have an open mind as well. Okay. You know, you open your mind up too much, it could be corrupted. So, you know, part about being strength is setting boundaries. Okay. And what are you paying attention to? Are you separating the boomers from the doomers? And, you know, I would suggest, at least personally, build strength and not even pay attention to the mainstream media, and going back and forth as to what we think about this kid with the drum and Native American. What is that doing for us? Absolutely nothing. Okay. It's absolutely not doing anything for us. How are we going to become stronger and more independent? How are we going to be more self-reliant? How are we going to have more freedom and independence here is what I am more focused on. Sky Operator says, yeah, I noticed MSM is very anti-Trump. You got to ask yourself why too. You know, you got to ask yourself, why are they anti-Trump? Because it seems to me like, you know, there's a new force that they didn't expect to come into the game after the game was rigged, arguably for Hillary and the lefties. And now they're panicking because their plan is not going according to their plan. Queen's Racist says, I saw on the 700 Club, they said it was targeted only because he had the MAGA hat and the media flipped it. Yeah, I'm not surprised about that. Revolutionist says, I usually use 5150 pre-workout, but I just ordered the Curse pre-workout to give it a try. Never heard about that, Revolutionist. I'm glad that you're chiming that in. I'm interested in learning more about people taking pre-workout, because I normally don't. And for months on end, while I was doing the keto and the intermittent fasting, I was working out completely fasted, okay, early in the morning. But as in the past month and a half or two, I've switched up the program. I'm eating more, and I'm not following keto or intermittent fasting like before. So, you know, I'll have a small yogurt, Greek yogurt, and then right before I go into the gym, I'll, you know, get like a shot of an espresso coffee. And that's kind of my pre-workout. So something very small, you know, so I can have a little extra kick in the gym. And I found it to give me a little bit more energy as opposed to working out fasted. Now, working out fasted can increase your growth hormones and it can burn more fat. But my goal is not to burn fat at this moment. It's just to gain muscle. The Sandman family owns a business, and unfortunately now it's getting bad rap from media blowing out of proportion. I don't know what that Sandman family it is, but, you know, media is blowing everything out of proportion, guys. If you still have your TV on to any of these networks, whether it's CNN, Fox, or any of these networks, they're just trying to take your attention. They want your attention, okay? That's the currency that they want. They want you plugged in all day long and just paying attention to them. And literally, you're paying your attention. So stop paying your attention to an entity and use that attention to something else. Use it on yourself, on your friends, on your family, on your community. How are you going to get stronger? How are you going to get more independent? How are you going to be more self-reliant? Champ 5150 pre-workout help you focus like a beast. Yeah, I'll check that out. Okay, I'll check that out. Interesting. Does anybody else take pre-workout? And Champ, for that reason, I don't hold Decentraland. I don't know what reason you're talking about. Yeah, I think they'll put out anything on TV for clicks. Yeah, and not only on TV, but on YouTube too. I mean, this, you know, the media, you got to be very careful with the media, guys. You know, they're the majority of the YouTube and the media, it's just here to just take your time. They're not really here to help you build. And I told you guys before, you know, once you start to realize it, you're either on the side of building or you're on the side of destroying. And, you know, you're either a man or a mouse. It's real simple. There's actually people today there's actually video of today people hopping border on Fox News. Yeah, this has been happening for years, and then I'm not surprised. Jigger Rome says that kid's smirk had people triggered. Exactly. You know, the fact that he's smiling, that he's a young white kid, people don't like seeing white people happy out there. They think it's racist for some reason. You know, I don't understand. And I said that yesterday. I'm not interested in talking about racism or not, because that's not my concern. I'm not paying attention to that. I heard the USA is in bed with Israel. Yeah, that's obvious. Nick Sandman was the kid wearing the hat. Oh, okay, there you go. So, you know. Yeah, the Sandman family now is getting a bad rap. Yeah, they're attacking the poor young kid. And, you know, basically they're profiting off gossip regarding a child. And, you know, I don't even want to address it, honestly. Like, he's a minor. You know, whether he's right or wrong is completely besides the point. Moneybags does take a pre-workout. He says C4. I've seen that one. I think they sell it at my gym. Now, I'm going to be honest. You know, I'm a Whole Foods maniac. So, you know, these pre-workouts don't really attract me because they seem somewhat synthetic. Although in the past I've taken them before, and they do charge you up because they have extra caffeine or whatnot. But if the main ingredient, the main active ingredient in pre-workouts is caffeine, then just drink a little coffee. I find that a little bit more Whole Foods, if you ask me. Champ, I've been using a pre-workout called Woke as Fuck Blood Raz Flavor. Best workout I've had in 5 years. Okay. Yeah. Do you notice that? Does anybody notice like any drawbacks from using these pre-workouts or whatnot. Because, you know, I'm not really interested in taking things that seem synthetic. Derek McLean said that, the kids said a group of black men were yelling racist things at him and other students, so they wanted to yell school chants back. Yeah, I did see part of that video or whatnot, and you know, it's both sides that were yelling at each other, and you know, I mean, but you know, how are you going to be yelling stuff at young kids? You know, even if they're, you know, who does that? You know, are you out there attacking young kids? I mean, even if they're wrong, like, what's the point? That goes to another thing too. I mean, the protesting guys, I mean, you know, what good is protesting? You know, you either, you know, what good is protesting? It's like, honestly, I think protesting is a meme and really doesn't do anything. It's either you take action or you're not. You're just complaining. Protesters are just complainers. You vote and you take action, or you go ahead and do something on your own. You build your own strength and independence, build your own home, your own family, your own community. And if you're busy worrying about, you know, your family and yourself, then you don't got time to be out there in Washington, D.C. with a little sign and a little drum. You're probably focused on going to the gym, eating healthier, cooking your own food, maybe growing your own food, you know, securing your own fort in your own domain. D-Rock Lizzo has entered the box. Welcome back, D-Rock. He says, I used to take C4 when it first came out. Lots of beta alanine to increase body temp, and caffeine also has creatine. I drink coffee now. Okay. Yeah, I do drink some coffee now. No drawback whatsoever. I just weaned off the snake diet. Okay. So Kenny did the snake diet. Great. Yeah, I'm a supporter of the snake diet. Guys, if you're trying to lose weight, if you're a fat boy and, you know, you're overweight, even if you're just a little bit overweight, I invite you to check out the snake diet. He's on YouTube, a gentleman by the name of Cole, and he advocates complete fasting. And he drinks snake juice, which is water with a little sodium, salt, and potassium chloride. Protesting plus action has solved a lot of problems. Dr. King did this. Yeah, that's a whole nother live stream that I could do. I think that I'm going to do another live stream on that too. It's like protesting. I don't know if I completely believe that. I think it's overhyped. It seems to me, and I could be wrong, but, you know, after the civil rights movement, it seems to me like the black family has decreased. I see a lot more single mothers than before the civil rights movement. You know, so I don't necessarily know how Dr. King has helped. I don't know. I'm going to look more into that. But I'm not into protesting. I think that things can change through voting. And then maybe, you know, did we get better laws because of protests or because of voting or not? But, you know, again, that goes into the race and stuff like that. And I'm not very much educated enough on that right now to chime in. Revolutionist says pre-workouts like 50-150 or kill it from 5% nutrition are the bomb. Champ, they will help you focus and increase your energy. I stand by good pre-workout drinks such as 50-150 or kill it. Okay, I'm going to check that out. I'll check that one out. 50-150. And talking about Larry Wheels, Revolutionist, I know you're a fan of flipping tires. I seen that he just posted a video, I think, with Thor himself flipping tires that I haven't checked out yet. So you guys may want to check out Larry Wheels, guys. If you're interested with, watching a young gunner really lift weights. Of course, he's taking steroids and he doesn't even deny it. And that's not the point. It's just the fact that he's in there putting in work, and it's interesting to see. I've taken 2 powder and coffee as a pre-workout, and it worked very well. I think that BC powder helps with my lactic acid and helps me push more weight longer. Okay. Moneybag says, if those taxes get hold back, recession definitely coming. 3 major airports delayed due to staffing issues. If those taxes get held back, recession definitely coming. Yeah, I heard that the TSA, some of people are just stopped working or whatnot. You know, if there wasn't TSA, you know, it would make it a lot easier to travel. I mean, like, you know, just get them out the way. And I can understand that they're trying to keep us safe or whatnot. But sometimes going through TSA is a mission, right? Like it kind of takes a little long. Kenny Force says, eggs, eggs, eggs. I get my eggs fresh every day from my chickens out back. Most store-bought eggs are usually 3 months old when you pick them up in store. Thanks for chiming that in, Kenny, because that goes into something that maybe I'll cover in this stream or another stream. It's like not only, you know, independence is about self-reliance. And one of those things is like having some good water where you live, you know, having, you know, water. What if the water gets messed up? Having, you know, maybe a generator. Okay. And then having food that you could grow. Maybe you can grow some potatoes, some onions, and, you know, even have a little chicken coop. These chickens, they're laying eggs constantly. And you're right. These, you know, you can get eggs right on your property instead of buying them. So, you know, I'm seeing more of the benefits to basically like being a homesteader. I'm not saying completely being a farmer, but having something on your property that makes you a little bit more independent and more self-reliant. You know, having a good water filter, maybe the Berkey. I'm really looking into the Berkey. It's like a $300 water filter, but it allows you to filter lake water. So if there's messed up water or anything like that, you don't even need to go buy water. You could just filter rainwater, filter lake water. So boom, right there, you're self-reliant. I think that filter lasts like 10 years. I have a link down below to it on Amazon if you're interested. It's like $300. And then, you know, having food on your property, whether it just be potatoes or something like that, that's real easy to grow, or fruits. You know, you can grow fruits, apples, oranges, or other exotic fruits, and then maybe even have a couple chickens. I was looking about how much a chicken costs. You could buy a chicken for like $15, $20. You know, a chicken that lays eggs, you could buy one for real cheap. That's true. Family households have been a problem in the black community. Dr. King did a lot for people in America, though black and white. Yeah. But, you know, it seems like the black community, the household has been broken up, and there's more people in the prison system after all the good things that they supposedly did. So, you know, sometimes I wonder. But again, I'm not educated enough to know what the pros and cons are, so I'm not going to get into it. Revolutionist says, Thor Bjornsson, known as the Mountain, is an absolute beast. He's the world's strongest man. Known, yeah. And let me tell you, if you haven't, Revolutionist, go to Larry Wheels' channel right here on YouTube, okay, and see the latest series that he has with Thor, the Mountain. It's incredible. He has him training for strong man, and they basically post their entire workout routines, and it's motivating as can be. Watching the two work out, it's almost like, you know, and I said this before, the student going to the Shaolin Temple to work with the master. And it's great. You can see Larry really respects the techniques, and he's learning. It's nice to see, you know, Larry always smashing PRs and being the alpha. Now he's more like the beta to the Mountain, and that's okay. It's okay. You know, there's so much negative connotations with being a beta, but sometimes it's good to be a beta to a good alpha. Like right now, Larry's the beta to the alpha of the Mountain, and he's learning, and they're making a good team. So necessarily being beta is not always bad, guys. You still drinking that Jersey cow nectar, champ? Absolutely. Yeah, I'm drinking milk from Jersey cows, not from New Jersey, but from the United Kingdom, Jersey. So apparently, if you haven't known, and I've mentioned this a few times before, there is a specific cow, the Jersey cow, that has something unique to their DNA, and the milk that they produce has an A2 protein as opposed to an A1 protein that most other cows produce. Now, this A2 protein is more easily digestible than A1 proteins. So they say. Now, this could be a meme. I don't know, but it's definitely a lot creamier and a lot more fatty. And you know how I feel about natural fats. I think that's where the real vitamins, minerals, and where the real kaboom lies in the fats. So yes, I am, Kenny. Revolutionist says, I heard that after Americans get their next benefit EBT check, that they will not get another benefit payment until March. Yeah, I saw that in the news headlines this morning. Listen, guys, I only see the news headlines, basically the mainstream headlines when I'm in the gym, because they have like the regular CNN and Fox playing at the gym. So you see it. I do my best to like not keep looking, but they got it all up in your face. So I try to set a boundary and not look at that type of stuff, but it's hard. Derek McLean says a lot of black prison issues have to do with poverty and corrupt police in the communities. Yeah, that's true. Poverty as well. Broken homes, not having a man in the home as well, because so many people are incarcerated. And, you know, that goes into the prison industrial complex, which is a whole nother thing. You know, prisons are a private institution, most of them. And it's crazy how people can actually invest in prisons. It's actually sickening, you know. And, you know, you guys may be surprised that some of you in your retirement funds, or why not, may be even invested into private prisons without even knowing it. You may want to look into that. That's another rabbit hole we can go down to, you know. How, if a prison is for profit, how do you promote it? And, you know, I know what the answer is, but it's something to ponder, because you couldn't promote it outright. You got to do it covertly, or, you know, underhanded. And you got to ask yourself, how would they be promoting? Because if it is a private institution and they are for profit, you best believe that they're promoting it some way. They need more business. And how are they doing that? And, you know, I'll lead you to the path that the answer lies in the media, guys. Moneybag says, if taxes don't come, we will not be able to put that money back into the economy, causing a recession, champ. If we don't get our tax returns, right? Yeah, that's true. You know, but if we don't get our tax returns, then people are going to stop paying taxes. And if we stop paying taxes, then we're going to have more money in our pockets. So, you know, but listen, I think we can all agree here that the house of cards here, you know, whether it be taxes, the financial system, I mean, like, things are looking shaky, guys. Things are looking shaky out there. And that goes back to what I'm trying to say here. We need to build our own strength and independence, self-reliance. We can't worry about a tax return. You can't depend on the tax return, guys. Okay? You can't depend on the tax returns. If you're one of the guys depending on the tax return, then you may be caught up if it doesn't show up. Okay? Don't expect another man to send you a check. Just buy silver and cryptos. That I agree with, Moneybags. Buy silver and cryptos. Get good water filters, and see if you can have a little bit of food on your property, even if it's a little bit of potato. That's easy to grow. You know, a fruit, and again, some water filter. Maybe buy a chicken or 3. They're only like $20 for a chicken, guys. Revolutionist says we need less laws and more alphas. I agree. If the weak can't handle the heat, they should step out of the way. I agree. Absolutely. It's the law of nature, guys. You know, if you can't handle yourself and you can't be self-reliant, then you're basically sniped out the box. Self-reliance indeed. And that's what we've been talking about. And one of those paths to self-reliance is being strong. Okay, that's why I advocate so much about lifting and starting there. You know, being strong is like, you know, controlling yourself first. You know, are you physically strong? Okay, in order to become physically strong, you have to be mentally strong as well. So you're setting a good anchor, a good root by exercising daily. And, you know, if you're exercising, then you're going to want to eat daily. Queen's Racist says $5 for a chicken in ShopRite. Yeah, but you eat it once and it's gone. I'm talking about a chicken that can lay eggs for, I don't know how long these chickens last, but at least I would say a year, right? Maybe someone can answer that question, because I'm not a farmer. I don't know how long a chicken will last, but I would assume at least they lay eggs for a year. What are we going to do if that ShopRite closes down, Queens Races? You know what I mean? You don't want to depend on the ShopRite. And again, I don't mean to sound like a prepper or anything like that, because I'm not. Absolutely not. And, you know, I'm not a doom and gloomer either. But it's good peace of mind to know that you could survive if things don't go well. You know, at least you got some clean water. You know, you have a little bit of food, you know, close by. My neighbor did that, but he EM after 5 months when he was fat. So he ate them after 5 months when he was fat. Okay. Eggs from vegan chickens or free range that eat insects, etc. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking, but yeah, I'm assuming chickens that lay eggs, you know, free range, you know. Derek McLean says he needs to buy property here in Chicago. Okay, yeah. Listen, you know, Champ lived in the main city for a while, NYC, and, you know, if things go down and the house of cards falls, the main cities are where all the problems going to be, because people are not self-reliant out there. Most people don't have cars. They don't have any property to grow, and, you know, they don't have a water source other than the city water source. So, I mean, you know, you can expect people to start fighting and be looters and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm more advocating to be a little out of the city, you know, maybe within driving distance, and have a little plot of land. You know, it doesn't have to be a whole farm or anything, but a little backyard where you can plant you know, something. Queen says he's from Queens, obviously. Amazon is coming to Queens. Yeah, Long Island City, I believe. Revolution is from a whole United Kingdom. Indeed. If you're just tuning in, it's The Voice here. This is our second live stream of the day. We're doing a second live stream every Friday where we have an open discussion. We're talking about strength and independence and more. We do this every Friday. And I've actually mentioned yesterday that, you know, I'm attracted to doing another live broadcast. So maybe like a second live broadcast that's ancillary to crypto, maybe on Wednesdays or whatnot. And, you know, I've also thought of doing a little bit more of a late night broadcast, but I don't know if I have the time where we could, you know, turn up a little bit more. And I know you guys like talking about conspiracies or whatnot. And, you know, the thing is with, you know, talking about politics and conspiracies is that it's just a lot of arguing and a lot of speculating. And at the end of the day, how is it going to improve yourself, and how is it going to make you a better man? You know? I think the information is good because some people need to uncover the lies that they've been told their whole life, you know, and part about talking about conspiracies and stuff like that is to train your mind to think critically. Okay. And, you know, get good information, always question the information that's being disseminated towards you. But once you learn how to think critically, then, you know, examining every single conspiracy and getting into politics all the time, I think is a waste of time. Moneybag says, yeah, late night sounds good. Yeah, I've been wanting to. I'm going to see if I can set some time. It's a little difficult for me because, you know, Champagne's a family man. And then on top of everything, I go to bed early, not only because of the family or whatnot, but I wake up early to work out. You know, that's when I find the time to, you know, Champ, I'm out there early, you know, hitting the steel. So I got to find the time where we can do this. If not, maybe we could do it during the day, you know. Yeah, Champ, there's actually a big migration of black moving out of Chicago because the city's too expensive. It's called the reverse migration. Yeah, and that's not only happening in cities like Chicago, but New York and LA as well. I mean, these cities have become so expensive, you know, arguably because of the high taxes. And, you know, what are they doing with those taxes? Then, you know, they're arguably using them for welfare, you know, and now for the hardworking middle class person that wants a family, they can't do that in these cities, so they got to leave. But again, you know, I used to be attracted to the big city, and I think it's cool or whatnot. But that's where the corruption congregates. That's where the degenerates congregate in big cities. You know, you go to a big city and you see so many people with mental health issues, you know, riding the trains out there in New York City for the 10 plus years that I was out there. It's like you always see a wacko or whatnot. And they've been studies done on mice. When you put too many mice in one place, some of them become homosexual, others become mentally ill, and they stop reproducing and stuff. So, you know, overpopulation in one certain location could lead to all kinds of impairments and degeneracy. Science has shown us. I'm curious which eggs are better. Eggs from vegan hens that are free range, that eat insects, or various nutrients. I don't know. I'm going to be honest, Derek. I don't know. You know, I would assume if they're eating foods, whether it be insects or other food, just as long as it's a whole food and it's not like, you know, antibiotics and stuff like that, you know, I'm cool with that. But I don't know the exact answer to that question. But, you know, the benefit of having and raising the food yourself, at least you know, and you're in control. You know, that's one thing about strength. It's having control. You know, being in control is, you know, that's part of independence. If you're not in control of certain things, then you're not truly free and you're not truly independent. And what's the cost of these things? You know, these things come at a cost, guys. And, you know, the cost of strength is resistance. And that's how you build strength, really. You know, you're not going to get any stronger unless there's a little bit of resistance, a little pain, a little struggle, you know. It's not the easy route, guys. Americans will make Black Friday look calm if their benefits stop. That's funny. Yeah, champ, where I live, there's always some crazy people and lots of gang violence. Yeah, yeah, you know. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. All right, guys, I'll take a few more comments and questions. Wasn't as controversial as I expected it today, but I think we needed it. We needed a little bit more calm stream, a little more positive energy. I don't want to be arguing all the time, trying to convince people that the wall's good or bad. At the end of the day, I don't think we should be arguing about that. I want to see you guys hitting the gym. I want to see you guys eating better. I want to see you guys strengthening your relationships with your loved ones, with your family, with your community, and you know, think globally but act locally, and worry about yourself first, being grounded, being healthy, and then worry about helping those around you. You got to be strong and healthy first so that you can help those around you, and handle it like that. Champ, what exercises did you do today? So with this mad cow, it's still the same. It's still the same schedule as strong lifts. Okay, so you're still working out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you're still doing the workouts. But, you know, the way you program it is a little differently as far as the repetitions or whatnot and the weight. But to answer that question directly, I started off with squat. Then I went over to the bench press. And I finished off with barbell rows. This program and what I'm focused on is training with the barbell. So I'm not doing any dumbbells exercises. I'm not doing any machines. That's cool if you're bodybuilding or whatnot, but I'm focused on strength building. I'm trying to get strong, okay? And, of course, be healthy as well. Champ, you have ever met any of your Champagne Cryptomaniacs at the gym or in person? No, I haven't catched them. No. You know, the champ, you know, is I guess only online, right? Champagne Crypto don't have a face. The Nakamoto family doesn't have a face. My goals are to be self-sufficient financially and find a woman to be with long term. Well, that sounds pretty solid, Derek, and we're rooting for you. And I would say, you know, a step to that goal is to build a good foundation with yourself first, and it'll grow from there. Champ don't talk in the gym. I'd rather run up and if he did, I'd run up and hug him. Shout out to Queens. there is not many cultural values left nowadays. Over here in the UK, people don't speak much like zombies waiting for apocalypse. Yeah, I think that's due in part to social media. People are always typing online. People don't talk anymore, you know, and that's why, you know, I'm old school with it, guys. I mean, I don't really comment in other people's videos. I don't like commenting. I don't like group text. You know, I rather call someone than text them. You know, I had someone today just texting me a bunch of stuff before this live stream, and you know, trying to deliver a message, type it all out. I hit call, and I just call you and I tell you, you know, speak to you. People don't know how to talk anymore. I think that if you could call someone instead of text them, do it. You know, speak to them. That's another thing I think we should promote. You know, stop texting and start calling if you can. I mean, I know in certain instances it's easier to text, and I understand that. But in the event that it's equal, you know, whether you could text or call, I'd say call. Champ, if Bitcoin goes to 100K or higher and you get a mansion, would you show your face then? Nah, it's not about me, Queens. It's not about me. I think that it's about crypto, and crypto's about anonymity, and it's not about secrecy, because there's nothing secret here. We're not trying to keep any secrets. You know, it's about keeping the privacy. And you got to understand too, when you put yourself on these networks, I'm not looking for fame, you know, and really, you know, I've worked in media before, and I've, you know, produced other things, and I can see that the media is toxic. I mean, you put your face out there and stuff like that, you know, I can see how it becomes a problem more than a benefit. So probably not, Queens, probably not. But hey, I never say never, you know. Maybe there's a point in time that would be appropriate if need be, and you know, I would consider it. Champ practices what he preaches. I try to. I try to. You know, I'm not always 1,000% with it, but I try to. How about a sky mask? That, you know, I don't know. A ski mask. Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't show the face though, right? But you know, I've considered it, and you know, some people have told me before, it's like, Champ, if you you know, be a little more personal and you showed your face, the channel will grow, and you know, but like I said, guys, I'm not here to try to be famous, and I probably don't even want that. I don't want people coming up to me at the gym. You know, some people like that. You know, they want that attention, but not me. All right, guys, I'll take a few more comments and questions. 14 crypto maniacs here in the population of the chat box. We've been streaming for 43 minutes today, and I appreciate all you maniacs. Guys like Queens dropping tips in the super chat almost every day. I appreciate that. Derek McLean chiming in. Revolution is showing love today. I appreciate you. Kenny Force as well. Jojo and the Boomers. It's the Crypto Brothers, that energy. And you can see most of the maniacs here are anonymous. And, you know, we discuss ideas, and that's what's important. What was it they say? You know, simple-minded people talk about people. I'm getting lost, but you know where I'm at. You know, smart people talk about ideas, and like regular people talk about events or something like that. And I think that we're talking about ideas here. So shout out to you guys. Derek says, only thing I want is to not be poor. I hate working and not seeing any of the money. Yeah, taxation is theft. And, you know, you can also have money in the bank and still be poor if you don't have good information, and, you know, you end up working for the man and spending all your time trying to stack money. So it's not all about stacking money. It's about strength and independence, really. Kaboom to Queen's Races. $2 there in the population. Bang, bang, two fists. I appreciate you, Queens. Thank you so much. My brother over here, Queen's Races, catching my back on the daily. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Derek, I agree. I just want like a 3-year vacation. Revolutionist is planning on a castle farm in the future. I love that idea, Revolutionist. And my understanding is that there's castles on a discount out there in the UK. Like that there's some, you know, old castles there in the country that are on discount, if I'm not mistaken. You know, it sounds like something attractive to have like an old castle and a farm. And I hope you put up a wall too when you get that castle, a nice fence around there. Derek says that would be amazing. I would love to go back to Asia. I used to travel to Asia by myself for 2 years. Best time of my life. That's awesome. That's awesome. Shout out to Chris Cantu. He's in Southeast Asia, and he's been living a home-free lifestyle and blogging, doing videos or whatnot. And he shared it with us, and he was actually in the population of the chat box today. You know, check out his channel too, because he's doing what he can to stay independent and do what he wants. I appreciate that. Queens is asking Revolutionists, are you going to have gargoyles on your castle? That would be cool. And Kenny Force says, don't venture into Jersey. Phil Murphy's about to tax air. I don't know who Phil Murphy is, but I can see these politicians trying to tax air. UK castles are around 500K upwards. Well, listen, getting a castle for less than $1 million seems attractive. Raji Raj says, what I miss. What's up, gang? Shout out to Raji. Welcome back to the population. We're tuning down out here, Raji. We've been on for almost an hour. You know, hit rewind. But we've been talking about strength and independence, self-reliance, freedom, and being self-sufficient out here. It starts with, you know, being self-sufficient for yourself, building strength on your own in the form of lifting weight. But, you know, while you start exercising and lifting that weight, it builds a discipline in your mind so you have a stronger mind. And it's also about creating boundaries of what you're paying attention to in your mind in the form of not paying attention to certain things. You know, someone once told me it's not always about the things that you do. It's also about the things that you decide to not do that makes you the person that you are. So that really stuck with me. You know, and I like to share that with you guys. You know, everybody talks about their achievements and what they're going to be doing, but they never talk about the boundaries that they set and the things that they haven't allowed themselves to do and the things they haven't done and the things they say no to, because that's also important too, guys. And that takes strength to say no and to set a boundary and not pay attention to certain things. We're going to make it, baby boomers, for real, with all the princesses. Shout out to Queens. Revolutionist invites us there to this castle. Maybe I'll show up to the castle and you guys can see champagne in the flesh. You never know. The best thing is, because I'm a builder, I can fix the castle myself if need be. That's another great thing. You know, learn to work with your hands. You know, university in the Western world has, in a way, put down those blue-collar workers, those that know how to do general construction and work with their hands, in favor of like service industries and finance industries, which is all good. But, you know, there's something to freedom and independence that has to do with being able to work with your hands and being able to fix your own castle. And as you know, I progress, I wish that I could work with my hands even more. Willie T says, gotta have gargoyles. Indeed. Yeah, that'll be cool. Raji Raj says, we gonna make it. Indeed. Cue up Jadakiss. Kaboom. All right, guys, 49 minutes. I'm out of here. I always says I'm out of here, and I always go like an extra 10 minutes, but it's all good. Hands-on skills are essential, especially if this system fails. Right. Hands-on skills, have good tools. You know, that's another one, guys. Like I didn't mention it. You know, having like a chainsaw. General power tools are good. You know, if things go down, you're gonna need them to build. You know, maybe have a little bit of food. You know, I'm not saying to be a full-fledged farmer, but, you know, having a couple fruit trees, having a potato or three, having, you know, 5 little chickens that cost you maybe less than $100, and just having them there in the backyard, just in case, having a little water filter, you know, having a couple hands-on skills like Revolutionist says, just is very handy. It's just in case the system fails, guys. And I'm not saying, you know, it's going to turn into the doom apocalypse like The Walking Dead out there, but, you know, we could be off grid for about a week or 3. You don't know. I mean, look at the blackout that occurred in 2001. Look at these cities that get hit with natural disasters and they don't have power for a certain time. If you haven't been in a natural disaster before and been off the grid for a while, then you probably don't know what's going on. And, you know, I encourage you guys to at least have, you know, some supplies. Solar, wind, and power on my castle have prepper mentality. Yeah, to a certain extent, you know, it's good to have a prepper mentality, but, you know, I don't want to be saying, you know, be paranoid that the world's coming to an end or anything. But if everybody was a little bit more self-reliant, then they won't have to be relying on the government, and we wouldn't have to pay so much taxes, and things could be a little better. Do you grow your own crops, champ? No, I don't, but I want to. I'll be honest with you though. I do have the answer to that is no, but you know, I do have a couple fruit plants, but you know, I'm not tending to them like I need to, and they're actually little small plants still. They're, you know, I got lime, and I got a papaya as well. But I would like to have more. Jojo Revolutionist, Raji Raj, Willie T, Queen's Races, the boomers are here, Kenny Force. NOLA 2015 was a terrible time, lived it. There you go. D-Rock knows. So, you know, you just got to be prepared, you know, just in case. And I'm not saying the house of cards is falling down tomorrow, but you never know, it could. And you don't want to get caught up out there, and you want to be strong and self-reliant. Moneybags says, always here, champ, indeed. Shout out to you, Moneybags. I appreciate you. All right, guys, I'm going to tune down the broadcast. I've said this like 3 times. I'm going to go ahead and enjoy my day. And I do want to get more crops, though, Jojo. I'm looking into that, you know, maybe, you know, raising a bed and putting some crops in there, maybe some potatoes, some sweet potatoes or something like that. And just having something small. It doesn't have to feed the entire town or anything like that. It could be really small. And I was really surprised at how cheap these chickens are. You can get like a chicken $15, $20. So, I mean, it's pretty affordable. All right, once again, shout out to Moneybags, D-Rock, Jojo, Revolutionist, Raji Raj, Willie T, Kenny Force, Jojo, the rest of the boomers, basil and squash. Yeah, I got basil too, Jojo. I got basil. That one grows easily. Squash I don't have. They're easy to grow and care for. Yeah, I got basil. Basil's, it's almost like a weed. It grows so easily. Some of the basil started growing on the concrete and everything. So, yeah. Revolutionist says kaboom, indeed. Shout out to you guys. If you haven't tuned in to the entire broadcast, hit rewind. Check out the whole entire broadcast, the whole stream. Stay strong, stay independent, stay free, stay self-reliant out there. There's a cost, though, guys. There's going to be some resistance, a little bit of struggle, even sometimes some isolation as well. But if you could weather through that, there will be some benefit, guys. On that note, I'm out of here. I appreciate all you maniacs. Stay strong out there. Enjoy your weekend. I'll be back on Monday with the good crypto energy. Shout out to Pepe. I see you out there. Kaboom. Thanks for tuning in. It's the voice of the blockchain here. Satoshi's biggest cousin, cryptography's finest. Champagne Crypto. Thanks for